Hi, welcome to Mystic Moons. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Well, we're going to take a little trip today to our inner workings. We're going to find out just how far inside we can go to look at the outside and say, holy blah blah, this is crazy. So many things happening right now. So many things happening right now. But there's a certain when somebody gives you, it's like taking, having dessert or eating or anything like that. When you do too much of a good thing, too much, like too much chocolate will make you sick. Too much sweets, too much food, you get stuffed, and that can also make you sick, right? Too much of everything, too much of closeness, like you with a lover who's always like leaning all over you and touching you. Too much is too much. It goes to all these types of things. There's no, it's like, where is our safety spot? Where is the spot that we go, enough, enough. But it seems as though the demon energy is so strong out there that there's no limit. Almost as though we're watching a whole bunch of exorcists that are dealing with an onslaught of one horde after another horde. And I mean HORDE, horde. That's the way you spell it, right? You get the idea. One crowd of conditioned rioting they were all living through. Yes, don't be scared. Don't be scared at all, because it's part of the plan, Now, the whole point of us talking and being together is to try and figure out what is happening. What is this crazy thump, 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 thump that we're all going through? And it's bad, and it affects your relationships, even with the closest friends you have, or the closest, or just the people around you. It's like the limits. Like, you always have, like, if you had a power level, you watch those superheroes on the movies. They have they take off they power up and up and up and up, and then they take away their inhibitors, with their limits come off. But they keep on building, 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 and that's how your personal relationships are just going right now. It's building and building and building. Hello very much, Scorpio lights. How are you? And how are you out there? How are you bearing up with this up and down, inside, upside? It's more like you're in a kaleidoscope of crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, our leaders from all our countries are crazy, crazy. Most of them, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, United States, everybody's like in this power struggle, like who has the biggest schlong around, and who's going to make that person bend to the knee. Bend your knees to me, the God King. And who wants to be God? It seems as though because we can press a few buttons and put electricity through some machine gadgets, that we're all after trying to be like, I am the God. I am the God. And relationships too is that you looked at me, baby. You looked at me. You want me. Even when you're just like looking at a red light, green light, some bloke is going around there thinking he or she is wanted. You want me. You're looking at me funny. I mean, it is at that level. Perhaps it's all this Wi-Fi. This Wi-Fi. Hello, how are you? This Wi-Fi that's making us all what's like dance, the crazy dance. You ever heard of? You've seen fire ants, right? They get you, or even a group of it doesn't have to be fire ants. But let's think about fire ants, because when they bite, they cause blisters and allergic reactions. Fire ants. Usually they're in a hot place, right? Fire ants. And they're all biting. You step on them and you get their colony all roused up. I mean, they're on the go. Bugs. Think of bugs, right? And even when bugs know that you're trying to swat them, how they get incensed. If there's a collective, a colony of them, defend the colony at any pace, at any pace or place. Now, how are you doing in your personal relationships in this crazy? And the person you love gets crazier. Because, some of us, not all of us, have a particular type of DNA. That's what they're looking for, we just didn't spring out, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. We humans have been around for a long, long time, longer than the history of your country or my country dares to even talk about to us, the plebs, the plebeians, the everyday person. But that doesn't stop our genes, our genetic makeup from remembering. If you think about like the forest animals, for instance, or animals, four-legged animals, or spiders, anything. How they don't go to school, they don't go to classes to know how to hunt, fish, feed themselves, keep themselves warm. They know their cells tell them the memory of their cells, and you know what? We as humans have the same thing. We have memories. Not all of us. Not all of us. Some of us don't even remember what happened last week because that's the way we're built, made. Don't distress if you can't think that way because, first of all, you got to realize that quagmire, the web of which the net of which they keep on putting over our heads. And then some of us go on and don't even realize that we're in a cage, or we're in a web, a fish net, a butterfly net, call it whatever you want, a net. It's funny how they call the internet or the extranet, right? The net. They acknowledge it, just like TV, television. Cable is something you have to think about that one, cable. But that's for another, just think about that, something wired into you. But the more you see, the more you understand that there's some kind of collective crap. Collective, this is the way monkeys, right? We're all monkeys in some people's eyes. Some, or children. And their instructions start early. There's no reason that you have to go to a government or institution to learn how to go ABC or whatever, uno, dos, tres. It does not matter because you learn that and you will learn that. Some of us, not all of us. But the thing that they keep hidden is the fact that there's a lot that we do know that we're being made to forget. And when you get in a relationship with someone who is one of those forgetful foolish ones, then that's kind of hard. That's why it's so important to get to know someone before you start being physically intimate with someone. Because too many, too many pleasures, too many sensation of eating, of smelling, of seeing, and then feeling. It gets a little crowded when you're dealing with mind control and propaganda. Propaganda. That's one word we call it in the United States. We call it the news. The news, but it is propaganda. All of it is conditioning. Now, how have you out there? How have you been conditioned? Tell me, what is on your mind tonight? How are you dealing with work, your lover, your friends, your enemies? And you say, oh, I don't have any enemies. Well, we all have enemies. People just dislike other people because of the way that they look. We all know that. Too tall, too fat, too skinny, too poor, too rich. Doesn't matter. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you just, that person bugs me. Or maybe they stare at you. You ever see a man or a woman staring at the opposite sex or the same sex? And they just keep staring, and you can see the hunger, the saliva dripping down their chin. Or you can see, what the hell is that person all about? That look too. You've seen that look, haven't you? Right. I can tell somebody out there has somebody staring at them that, they're just trying to get up enough courage in this atmosphere of war and peace. That's different. Now, our grandparents or, et cetera, back in the day, they've all lived through war and peace. But, they used to have a patriotic veneer connected with it. And that's one thing we in this war and peace that is not quite there. Because you know why? Every place that humans have lived and do live, there's some history in the ground. It doesn't relegate itself to like one particular place like the Middle East. No, it doesn't. But why should one place have more clout or more coverage than someplace else? That's just because the controllers are just trying to simplify things for our simple little minds to comprehend. That's kind of tedious, isn't it? Doesn't that irk you a bit? That someone thinks you're so simple minded? Or maybe you're in love with a simple minded man or a simple minded woman who can't fathom even going outside of their own shell, their own playbook. Oh, yeah, their script. Now, the most important thing that parents and educators and government officials like to do is give you a script. Now, good people follow the script. And those who don't are called a variety of names. Variety of names. I wish we all heard those names. So there's no need to repeat it. There's no need to even talk about what the opposites are. Because we know that it's sticks and stones and brick by bones. But names will never hurt me. It's funny they don't say that anymore. That's an old time Nancy Drew, Wonder Bread type of like, I think they used to say that. Now it's like, safe zones. I must have a safe zone. Oh, you're hurting my feelings. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Do you think the space aliens have been looking at our Earth? And the ones that are already here, been here, done that, coming back and forth, really care about you or my safe spaces, or your lover's safe spaces, or your parents' safe spaces, or your leaders' safe spaces. Now, before they have all sorts of gastronomical and indigestion, other forms, coming at the other end, let's think about what's really happening. Let us take the curtain of deceit, the veneer, the theater. Now we have the theater of bombs, lives ending and lives ending in destruction. And why do we have this scene going on in our time? It gets in the way. It does get in the way. All you want is a damn good job. You want to live in a nice house and raise a family of friends and perhaps offspring, right? You just want to live your life. But every single thing is around to make it more difficult, more of a dream instead of like you're right? And then you find your partner can't cope, he or she. It can't cope. Your parents can't cope. Then we hear all this mental illness and I've lost my brains. And we never stop to think about how did this all happen? And what is happening right now? And what is the plan for you right now? Obey, obey, obey. The Tim Carpenter movie, Obey. You've all seen it, or maybe you haven't. It's by an American filmmaker, John Carpenter. Obey. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. It's an old movie, too. I think it's the 40s or the 50s or back then. Right now, you can't get anything unless you get like superheroes, Marvel. Now, even that guy Marvel, I mean, that's been around for I don't know, too long. Almost 100 years, 60 years. I don't know, something like that. A long time. But of course, when the countries are in decay, they're afraid to try new things. All they want to do is to keep you in the 5-step category. In your crotch, in your crotch, in your crotch, and on your knees, on your feet, and dead. Do they want like high volume people? Do they want you? Do they want you? Do they want you? You know, everybody's going around thinking that, like, it's going to change. It's going to change. Yeah, it's going to change. But we've all seen science fiction movies, sci-fi, we call it cute. But we never stop to think that how we are actually in the sci-fi, science fiction. It's not science fiction anymore. It's science reality. So maybe we call it sci-real. 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 Science fiction reality. Something. Now, even if you're thinking this way, somebody can already be calling you names, right? Names. And go, ooh, they're a little strange, spooky. I'm not going to think that way. But yet, that is another part of the conditioning, which is like so praised and so. I mean, they must give these leaders of like Germany, Macron in France, Starmer in England, Trump in the United States. They must give them awards to how many people they could keep under the rug, keep their minds in the toilet. I use the word toilet instead of toilet because I knew this famous person who was known as Morris Katz. And he showed me just how to make the fastest piece of artwork in the shortest amount of time and get the money for it when I was quite young. Gave me a few lessons. And yeah. So, 8 minutes, time limits, the time, as though anything is really in our human time, right? Should something really be considered just in our little tiny little worlds? And we all live in tiny little worlds, but the world's like this, worlds. We're in a world where we're on a merry-go-round, like faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. Right now, what do we have? We have disease. We have bombings. We have fake peace talks. We have what? We have viruses. Viruses. Then we have what? Nothing. Do we have love? Do we have love out there? Who loves? Who's in love? And who's happy in love? Share your love. People want to say, oh, oh, oh. When you go, ah. But then again, you find out maybe you can't live on love alone, right? Person needs to have a job. Now, it used to be the man had the job, high-valued man had a job. But in the United States, only 1 out of every 3 males, guys with male parts have a job. Mm-hmm. And then you have this one guy like Elon Musk who has trillions. He's a trillionaire. He has so much money that he could go back and forth around the sun and back again and just go giggle, giggle, giggle. Giggle, giggle, giggle. Isn't this a little something kind of like unequal in all this? Some people are like living in cardboard boxes. Some people have so many mansions. They have more mansions than they have fingers and toes. And people respect people who have lots of moolah, lots of dough, lots of cash, lots of dinero, dirhams, what I'm going to call. And people that have squat. They can count their cents, their dollars, their rupees on one hand. And they're going, scum, right? Scum. You see, we do not have value, the right values. A lot of us don't have it. But to have the right values means you have the power to connect with your genetics, your bloody genetics. That's what they're after right now. Even right now, you have, let me see your ancestors, ancestor.com or .go, whatever it's called. And those, we'll take a sample of you and see if you have this disease. And you know what they're looking for? They're looking for if you have it, the frequency gene. The frequency gene. And you can be, what is a frequency gene? Well, Long story short, without getting into a whole lot of physics and other types of things, biophysics, it's the ability to raise higher and higher and higher your self, your cellular development. And that's what they say, oh, well, you have religions that go, oh, no, 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 that's devil's work, that's this, that's that, this is blah, 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 all sorts of stuff. But then again, most people go to the movies or watch cable things, get out the popcorn, and they watch all this demonic vampirism and all this demon stuff. I mean, it's like smoke and don't smoke. Smoking will kill you, but it's still great to do it. So I mean, you're getting all these messages. You don't know what the hell is happening now, in the now. But when again, maybe only certain people have certain types of now, right? Meow, now. And there's other people, their now is different. Now, that's the whole thing that is really making a lot of people scared, because maybe they can't make you. That's why they get this thing. Oh, us Italians do this, or us Irish, or us black folks, or us white folks, or, stuff like that, or us English people do this, because they're trying to get consensus. And to feel the people, they can tell right away, you're not feeling the way I'm feeling. Therefore, you're feeling something else. And that's where the sticky wicky comes in. Doubt me? Go around, even if you were to go around and you had an audience of people that you could see, and you could say a few lines or something about anything, and then look at your audience. You can tell who's into it and who thinks that you're speaking a whole bunch of horseshit, right? And for them, even in your mind, they go to certain places and they go, I can't go there because I'm scared. Lovers do that a lot too, to each other. I can't go there because I'm scared, or I don't want to go there. Oh, this is just, how can I keep up with this person? How can I make this person keep up with me? Have you ever been around somebody who just, feels shadowed by you, and they just go, oh, he's crazy, she's crazy. It happens. That's not a red flag. That's an open gate. That is, a tornado comes, takes the roof off of your happy home. But there's some people that feel that they have to control, and leaders too. Now, what are we going to do about all this? Are we going to sit around and just count our 10 toes, 10 fingers? Or we're going to think, AI God, do my work for me. Well, I will have no job. That's a lot of crap too, AI. Because, we all know you can go to fast foods and have French fries. What? French fries, that's harmless. It tastes good, right away. But we all know if you made your own French fries, they would be better. Well, of course, some of us can't cook for crap. But a lot of us can make French fries. And we also know that if you use a certain type of ingredients, oil, the potato, the salt, how it tastes different. And we all know that the potato is also, in a lot of potatoes, GMO potatoes, is infused with the human fat gene. That's why a lot of people eat a lot of fast foods are on the hefty side. But of course, these are all well-known and documented realities. Because the person who's giving you the fast food, French fries, fast foods, isn't caring about your health. They just want to make that money. Now, all of these things come into the same thing when you work for somebody, the same thing when you're in a relationship with someone. They want it fast and numerous. They don't want to take the time to get to know you, the real you, or get to even know, how can they know you when they don't even know the real self of themselves? So many times that we're getting thrown idiocy. You've seen that movie, Idiocracy? Well, that's a movie out about everybody being stupid as crap. They're so full of shite. The smell takes your breath away. Well, how do you get out? How do you know When the first wave of somebody says, I love you, I like you, I mean, you could be affected if you never heard that before. But you got to go, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this a gimme or a giver? And is this person on my level? On your level? Just because you're not in a relationship or just because you haven't been loved properly doesn't mean you're on a lower level. It just means you haven't explored the possibilities of what is out there and what is in there. Somebody's looking at you with longing. Get beyond the physical 1, 2, 3. Get beyond like being with someone who can't or who can. Now you got to first realize, can this person can or can't, and without having any other emotion in there. Understand what I'm saying? This person going to go the mileage. And you know what I found out a good recipe to find out if this person is the one? Be real nice. Be real nice. Make them something. Make them something and see how they receive it. And see if they're just expecting it all the time. Or something like that. You get what I mean. Sometimes you can be bitchy and, but wait a minute. Before you go that route, find out just how they take things. Take your love. Take your gifts. Same thing with like working. Now you could be working and you go, well, I'll just come in early and I'll stay late, right? Now that person could be who you hired you, could be very grateful, or your supervisor. But then again, they could say, this is a damn fool that I can mop the floor with. Person, they're thinking, this could be the type of person I can exploit. They need money. They need a job. We all need money. We're not like trust fund babies. Well, these are the things. These are the things that you have to know for your own good. For your own good, because there's a lot of trash out there. And people have allowed themselves to be made into trash. I mean, we've all been at a point that we allowed ourselves to be done in by something. Let's confess to ourselves. We understand. But there's a point that you have to wise up. Wise up, sisters and brothers. Wise up. Because we cannot continue as as it's going, because it's the cardboard. You have a cardboard box, it gets wet, it loses its shape. It's like that. Or it's like a piece of thin stone. You put enough pressure on it, you could crack. And who wants to be with a crackpot? Who wants to be with a mushy? Who wants to be with a weasel? Who wants to be with a skink? Which, I mean, let's face it, a lot of people are like scared. Okay, you can be scared, and you can be scared and you can be strong at the same time. But a lot of people who are scared just can't tap into their strength exactly when you need them. When you need them, they just go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, or oh my Allah, or oh my Jehovah, whatever, Yahweh. Krishna, whatever. They can't get it together. Now, I asked all of you to look around, see around your life. Are you happy? And do you think that happiness is not something that you should strive for? Once, when I was a kid, I had this crab teacher. And she asked everyone to write a composition, an essay, about what they wanted to do. What do they want to do with their life? And you know what I wrote? I wrote, I want to be happy. I want to be happy. Lo and behold, after we turned to the papers and the next day, she asked me to stay after class. And she was so full of admonishment. Oh, you did wrong. I mean, I see nothing wrong with being happy. Happy with who you're with. Happy with what you decide to do in your life. Now, you're not here to serve anyone but yourself first. That doesn't mean you're a selfish oaf. No. You find out what makes you tick, how to open up your cellular wisdom, your soul wisdom. And then you start feeling. You look at a plant and you notice all the veins on the front of the leaf and the back of the leaf. You look at a piece of stone, a piece of earth, and you see, this didn't happen last night. I didn't make this. God made this. Who is God? What is God? The Creator. The Creator. And the Creator made you for a reason, not to be there buying fast foods and going, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. No. And listening to some dinglebits, and I mean dinglebits, going, this is the way. This is the way. This is the way to what? Crazy? This is the way? Killing people? Like, we all should be, like, you politically. You're not supposed to. Let's not make this political. Let's not. But we live political lives. News propaganda is political. Loving, being together with someone is a political statement. I am strong enough to support this person. That's political. That's political. I can feed myself. That's political. Somebody saying, you cannot feed yourself. I won't let you. I'll cut off your job. I'll cut off you. I'll make you feel like crap. All these things. All these things. Friends. 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 Hello. Friends, friends, friends. You know, we have to stop being the herd. The herd. We got to start being people, humans. Stop being displaced mumbo jumbos, repeating aphorisms and phrases. It's okay to know certain key things, but not to go, oh, I worship you because you have so much dough, so much money, so much more than I have. So somebody says emotional roller coaster. Well, you see, that's the state wishing to put us all on a fast track so we can't think. We can't join with our selves and our Creator. Now, the point is, once you join together and you raise up your level of feeling, then you understand the charade, the theater, the drama, and people who want to control you, people who think, well, there's a dummy, or that person is weak, that person needs me, or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Well, it's much more complicated than that. It's much more complicated, which is very interesting, isn't it? It's very, 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 very interesting. It's very, very, very interesting to see where this is going, what's happening. Now, we all know that this scene right now, like, some people think, not just because you have more abilities so on a cellular level doesn't mean that you are the chosen people. It's not like that. It's like you have found a way to utilize what the Creator has given you, number one. And people that are going around taking a ride, I'm the chosen, I'm this, I'm that, I'm more important, I'm superior, I'm exceptional. Stuff it. Stuff it. Stuff it. Caring is humanity. That doesn't mean, you ride somebody like a piggy bank and you go, oh, everybody jumps on one person's back and they go, I can't think for myself. I can't do anything. I'm just a stupid jerk. Okay, but this person has got, has got something on the ball, and I'm going to suck like a vampire every bit of blood out of that person. It doesn't mean you do that. No, that doesn't mean it. But it does mean that we're aware of insipid, tasteless indifference. Indifference. Those are us, and that's the whole thing. Somebody is not, it's not stupid or smart or, strong or weak. It's indifference. It's indifference. And making a stand on the difference. It's those two things. Those two things. That's how you can tell you're around some good people, when they have values and morality. Their morality wouldn't let them do X, Y, and Z. Not because you're looking, nah, but because they don't want to go to the lower demon reality that is being permeated all over the place. When you have war, you have demons. You have demons everywhere. Some of them are invisible, some of them only show themselves in shadows, light planes. And some people just say they pop up those demons just because, it's like popcorn, or it's like flipping burgers. Well, anyway, if you have any questions here about something that is really bugging you, that you can't fathom how to extradite, maneuver, or achieve, grow, I'm here. You can talk about it. I'm giving you a personal reading if you would like. If I caught anybody's essence, anybody's nib of wonderment, well, yes. Anyone's nib of wonderment, of where, how did I get here? Where am I going? How can I get out of this quagmire? How can I get into this positivity? What do I have to do? Why am I wanting this person that doesn't want me? Why can't I let go? Can you let go of something that isn't good for you? The point is, the only thing is to find a balance in yourself, to find the answer to these questions. And, well, the answer's there. If you have any questions, I'm here. I'm gonna go get some tea. Be back. Okay, I'm gonna have a tea right now. If anybody has any questions, you could just write and email. All the instructions and addresses are in there in this reading. Just look for it. And I'm here and not unsympathetic towards what you're going through, because we all have had certain things happen, right? And we are in a state of war. So remember this. This is different times. And when's the last time a country had war? I mean, of course, the United States, we're always having war, but this is different. This is something global. It's everywhere. And we are in a period of decline, as well as a number of other countries are in decline too. We're not the only ones. But how we push off and shove off is up to you and I.